Hey Carp Geeks. So kind of an interesting one. I've been videoing myself fishing and doing tests for quite a while now, and I've gone through quite a few cameras. Alright, now what I've done in this video is I've collected the ones I really like, and it's kind of a good piece of advice if you're just starting maybe videoing yourself fishing, or perhaps if you're a bit more experienced, what to buy at the higher end. Okay, so when I started my journey I used GoPros and they were fine, but then this little guy turned up. This is the Osmo Action. Okay, the Osmo Action is an awesome little camera. It doesn't have a record limit, so you can record forever, unlike Canon cameras. If you've got a Canon camera, I found out the hard way there, they cut off after half an hour. Okay, and then you're going to do another video. But like if you want long form, anything but Canon really is the way to go, and Osmo is great. And as you can probably see, it has a little screen on the front, right, so you can frame yourself, etc. Okay, so it's really good for that, and it also has a lot of good kind of user-friendly features, one of which I really like is voice control. So you can tell it to say the magic word take a photo and it will take a photo. You can tell it the magic word start recording or stop recording, and this is very, very useful if you're, for example, holding a fish and you want it to kind of like take a picture or something, right? So very, very good. Okay, now that's a good one to get started with. So if you're on your phone, fantastic. Next step up I would say would be an Osmo Action camera. It's really good. The pros I mentioned, and the cons, well, it's not great in low light because it has a smaller sensor, just like your phone does, right? So low light conditions not so good, okay? And it also has a fixed wide angle lens, okay? So you can either got to move it closer or further away from the subject. You can't really zoom in, okay? So aside from that, if you just want to use it for just kind of like, short range, kind of like talking to camera stuff, it's really good. Okay, I really recommend that one. Okay, on to the next one. The next camera is my workhorse, all right? So this is a Sony ZV10. Okay, now the great thing about this camera is it has all the features, and it's designed specially really for kind of content creators, all the features you really need if you're going to up your game. Okay, so number one, has the old fold-out screen, super important, right? So it has the fold-out screen so you can frame yourself. That's very important. Had that in common with the Osmo. Okay. Number two, perhaps most important, it has obviously detachable lenses. I recommend getting yourself a nice mid-range zoom lens. The one on here at the moment is an 11 to 20 millimeter Tamron, but the 17 to 70 is a really good option as well, which I also have. Depends on your application a little bit. Okay, so this is a great camera. Also Sony, excellent, no record limit, and if you can see, I've actually got this one hooked up to just a cell phone kind of battery charger, and it can top its battery up as you go, so this will last all day. This will last all day. I've filmed myself for more than 8 hours to one of these cameras. Okay, so this is my standard go-to in a traditional setting. Okay, really good. Now, those are the two standard cameras, so if you're into standard photography and video, wonderful. Okay. However, this is kind of a new thing I'm trying this year. I've also got some kind of weird cameras. Okay, let's look at the first one. Okay, here we go. The next camera is an Insta360. Now, if you're not familiar with the Insta360, it's a wonderful device. It literally records in a giant sphere all around itself. So 360 every direction, okay, up, down, sideways, you name it. Okay, so if you think about it, if you look at there, so it's got like two lenses, one on each side. It's kind of like the eyes on the side of a cow, right? So it can see in 360. All right, now this is awesome because you don't have to frame your shots, and what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to literally put this on my bank stick, right, and I'm just going to have it sitting there right next to the rods, and it will video everything in the swim simultaneously. It does take a little bit more, as they say, in post to frame everything, but you don't have to worry about setting up a shot when you're fishing, and that, I think, for me will be super important. So I'm going to use this when pole fishing, when carp fishing this season. So keep an eye on the channel. Insta360, and also it does come with, of course, you guessed it, a waterproof case, right? So you put this bad boy in a waterproof case, you can like do those classic follow shots. You can put it on a basically a landing net pole and follow the fish as you release it, that kind of thing, and you don't have to kind of know where the fish is because it shoots in 360. It'll catch it every time. And for me, as a scuba diver, I can actually follow the fish around and not worry about framing them. I can just have this thing attached to my shoulder or something like this, you know, and just swim around looking for fish, and it will video everything I see. So that's fantastic. So nice one if you really want to get into it. It's a bit heavy on the learning curve because it's, you know, you have to edit 3D film essentially, but it's not that bad, to be honest. Not that bad. Give it a shot. My recommendation, if you're really going to try something new, try a 360 camera. Okay. Next one, let's take a look. And finally, if you're anything like me, this is all over your Facebook. Okay, it's this tiny little underwater camera, and you can see the float on there, so you just toss it in and it sits always on the bottom like this. And what I'm going to do, it's so tiny and so light, I'm actually going to put it in my pole cup. So I'm going to ship out this in my pole cup, put it in. It's attached, of course, to a dedicated screen, right? Okay, so there's the screen. Let me just show you that, right? So, oh, there it is. All right. So it's a quick and easy way to get underwater video, and I think it's going to be particularly useful for when I'm pole fishing. So those tests, you may have seen them on the channel where I'm actually testing the baits with a pole. Fantastic. I'm actually getting another one of these, so I'm going to have 2 swims, 2 cameras, and I'm going to actually see, so I'm not going to rely just on catch rate anymore. I'm actually going to see what's down there. All right, so super nerdy, but I think it really helped with the research for the new baits. All right, so that's where I'm going this season. Hopefully that makes sense. Feel free to drop me a line if you've got any questions. Oh, before I forget, there are a couple of other essentials you need when filming yourself, okay? Number 1 is a shotgun microphone, because the microphone on your camera is probably not good enough. And one of the main complaints YouTube creators have when they do a video is, when people stop watching it, is bad audio. And you can get around bad audio by using just a simple shotgun mic. I'm using one right now, so I can't show you it, but you've seen them, right? Or maybe I'll do a quick insert with a picture. And that's great if you're within about a meter, 3 feet, a meter away from the camera like I am now. I can do this. I've got a 16mm lens. I can just touch the lens. I'm touching the lens right now. That's how far away. I'm an arm's length, literally an arm's length away from the camera. Hopefully you'll agree the audio is pretty good. Okay. Now, some of my videos you've seen when I've been wandering around the swim playing fish, I have a wireless lapel mic, and Rode make an excellent one. I'll do a quick insert. They make a wonderful mic, and I've been using that for some time. It's got like probably a 4 to 5 hour kind of battery life, so hey, you know, it can last for a pretty good amount of time when you're fishing. Yeah, so aside from cameras, if I'm gonna give any advice to a new angler who's just starting to video themselves, get the Osmo Action, get a shotgun mic or a Rode lapel mic essentially, right? And that's all you need to start. Okay, so when you graduate from that phone, that's the way to go. As you get more into it, the Sony ZV10, which I'm filming on right now, is by far, in my opinion, the best camera for YouTube content. It has all the bells and whistles, and it's a good price. Okay, and then of course, there's kind of weird and wonderful cameras if you're into specialized stuff. Okay, hope that helps. See you guys next time.